and that's a testament to his wisdom, his understanding of the condition of our people. And
That's right.
I think that was what caused some of the rifts and fallouts. You know, we mentioned the controversy between him and Brother Malcolm, but also with Brother Clarence 13X. I think the reason why some of those brothers left out of the temples and decided to do their own thing was based on the misunderstanding of how to go about resurrecting our people and not understanding the assignment that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was on. Because it's like, Clarence 13X, when he's studying the lessons, he's coming to his own conclusion, like, wait, so the black man is God? Why are we not teaching that the black man is God? And Elijah Muhammad is saying, wait, our people are not ready for that yet. We'll get to that in due time, but right now we have to walk these steps here. And I believe that was the misunderstanding with a lot of the brothers who ended up, splintering off. And I won't even say that it was something negative, because something good still ended up coming out of it anyway.
You're exactly right, and I love the way you put that, my brother, because misunderstandings when you're trying to produce unity are naturally going to happen. What has happened historically with the effort in the movement of black unity, whether you're looking at the Nation of Islam, whether you're looking at the Civil Rights Movement, or you're looking at the Panthers, I don't care if it's a revolutionary group or a group that we might even consider to be somewhat Uncle Tomish. Whenever there are disagreements internally, whenever there are misunderstandings internally, there's always outside forces from our enemy, from the white power structure, that are seeking to use our differences to break up the entire movement. And so we have to now, hopefully, in the light of yesterday, be able to, in today's time, navigate much more successfully through disagreements, misunderstandings with one another. That's why it's been very sad for me to see in recent times so many high-profile black men that have come out in the public speaking against Kyrie Irving, speaking against Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. And it's like, okay, let's go back to the period of time when we would dialogue with each other behind closed doors. It's all right to disagree, but let's do that behind closed doors. And that way we can come out in the public and represent ourselves as other people represent themselves, as a unified front. You don't see a whole lot in the white community or the Jewish community or the ethnic groups of them airing out their differences in the public. They have differences. Differences are natural, but we have lost our way. And I think, unfortunately, for all the good that social media has brought to us, I think one of the negative things is that it creates this urgency, this false urgency to rush to the platforms and begin to speak out against our brother or our sister just to build our brand or just for likes or for whatever. And I've heard Tariq Nasheed, I've heard Brother Mike Rashid, I've heard other positive, conscientious brothers say, hey, listen, we've got to learn to go and start speaking on code. Yep. We don't speak against one another in the public. We can argue, fuss, fight in private, but then we come out in the public. We should be civil and we should only talk about the best part of one another. And if we can't do that in the least, just don't say nothing at all.
Agreed.
I won't lie. I struggle with that myself. Sometimes I feel like certain things need to be dealt with publicly because somebody who is off code is doing so in a public manner. And it's not really about, for me, it's not about attacking that individual who's off code, but it is about exposing the truth of whatever the matter may be so that those who are onlookers get a proper perspective of what's happening, what's taking place. And so I feel like, it's not always room to go behind closed doors and have those conversations when we have people who are onlookers who are dealing with confusion.
No, that's a great point. And I think we all in this space, in this day and time, have that kind of nuanced challenge. And one of the things that comes to my mind is something that the minister told me. He said, you know, brother, sometimes, well, let me say this first. He said, when you argue principle, not personal. See, we can argue principle and not personal. And he said to me, he said, brother, sometimes we win the argument, but we lose our brother. The goal is to win both the argument and to win your brother or to win your sister.
I like that.
So I try to take that with me because I've seen him do that. When the minister came out, for instance, in that magnificent message, there was kind of like, you know, a surprise because it was early in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And then social media went viral. Farrakhan speaks on Kyrie and Kanye. So everybody was tuned in. But if you'll notice the way or the manner that the minister addressed it, we knew certainly he would defend Kyrie, and we knew that he would stand up for the truths that Ye had spoken. But if you'll notice, he even expressed an understanding of the realities of the critics, the black critics of Kyrie and Kanye, like Charles Barkley and Stephen A. Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. So the minister spoke of them in such a way that when they heard the minister, they had to say, well, you know what, the minister is right. We didn't have to go about it like that, because they certainly have a reality that many of us don't have. And they're in a position to do great good. But if we always are willing to go after one another personally and not just deal with the substance of the issue, many times truth is on our side. We'll win the argument, but then the relationship that either was there is gone, or the relationship that could have been there is gone.